Brooklyn, now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow, but I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra, and since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to copy.
Been a while since I've had a howl. So here what I have is just one of many pieces that came from my brother Jeremy Lee, one of the most famous A.C.B.A artists out there. So he kind of made me some dial pieces. So he's made a bunch of debris and bigger pieces. So besides that, he got me this whole lot here. So part of it is actually from Billy Mahoney. So Billy Mahoney did some fixes for me. So here I have a red tornado. So originally when I bought it, it had the tornado prop piece glued onto the figure. So Billy did me a favor by removing it from the fist. It was actually super glued on. So incredibly good job by Billy. I can't even tell that it was glued on. And the paint apps on this guy is pretty awesome. I've seen Red Tornado in Singapore before, but the paint apps was terrible. That's why I passed on the figure. And some other stuff from Billy. So he did some fixes and mods for me, which I'm pretty happy about. This knot figure came from the Red Tornado seller as well. So this is something that's been pending. And Billy did touch up the female head for me. This was kind of my version of MJ. So he's touched it up for me. Pretty dope. And yes, so previously in other episodes of M.A.T.O, I bought the X-Men stealth jet, and it was kind of missing a leg. So Billy did me a favor. He got someone to cast the leg, and he sent me the cast and the painted leg as well. So that's pretty cool of him. So here I have the Hulkbuster wave, which Jeremy helped me purchase. So I have a complete Hulkbuster because I bought the complete wave. So I have all the figures from the wave. But I guess I'm not going to talk about the wave because I'm kind of late. So everybody's talked about the wave already. So other figures I got was the Bulldozer. So now I have a complete Wrecking Crew. I have Spider-Woman. I have, this is my definitive version of Daredevil. So if you guys don't already know, Daredevil is my favorite Marvel hero. So this will replace my older Daredevil. The sculpt looks pretty amazing. Definitely much nicer than the very plain Spider-Man Classics version. So I'll probably do something with this figure. Definitely doing a lot of pictures on that. So let's see. Yes. So what Jeremy got me as well was an Agent Coulson. But Jeremy is this really amazing friend. I thank God for him. I'm really blessed to know him. He not only helps me to get fixed, because figures are cheaper in the US, but he's also helped me repaint the Coulson body, which is really very cool. So he did a red tie, which is quite useful. I have a lot of ideas for this guy. And let's see, what else did I miss out? So I think that's pretty much that's pretty much the Howl segment of M.A.T.O. So stay tuned for some displays coming up soon. I've always liked the comic universe much better than the movie universe. So I was kind of upset that you know, Hank Pym was not the creator of Ultron. So I decided to do this picture as a tribute to the comic universe. So yeah, I kind of felt that this picture didn't need cutouts, so that's why it's missing cutouts. And you know, I'm back to my roots, you know, doing storytelling and more simple displays, because honestly I'm not really good at you know, fight scenes and whatnots. So I enjoy telling a story. So here is my story. So enough of the souls. I have a spare Ultron arm, so I decided to use it for this display. So it's kind of illustrating, you know, the origins of Ultron. So I hope you guys enjoy this very simple story. Got down to playing with the Daredevil figure. So here I have an NSA display, no strings attached, no flight stance, no nothing, pure balance. Initially wanted to play with the Coulson figure, but then I guess I decided, you know, I have a weakness for Daredevil after all. So here I have him against a New York backdrop that I've had for the longest time. So you know, the backdrop is not very big, but I still managed to get it to work. So here I have him balanced on the Chitari balcony railings with the New York picture in the background. So I really like how the picture comes out, or at least I hope it comes out well, because I haven't actually seen it on the laptop yet. So yep, my only gripes about this figure is the stuff that came with him. So his can't remember what you call his sticks, Tommy sticks or whatnot. Correct me if I'm wrong. I forgot what they are called. So anyways, they are made of soft rubber. I wish they were made of plastic instead, but you know, that's Hasbro for you, always screwing something up. So enough about this figure. I'm going to take a look at the picture. So hope you guys enjoy it. This cutout I made myself. So I actually wanted this display for a while, you know, something related to Murdock or Daredevil. So just some interesting facts. I've been to Hell's Kitchen personally, and it's nothing like what is depicted in the comics. So, but I guess they chose the name or the place of origins for Murdock because it kind of matches his you know, superhero persona. So yep, this figure is actually a custom done previously by you know, one of the guys from the A.C.B.A group. I just added the staff or the billy clubs from the new Hasbro Daredevil figure, made of very soft rubber, which I don't really like, but I guess I have to make do. And I just have two WWE characters as generic thugs, and with the Spider-Man Classics alley and a street lamp in the backdrop. So nothing too complicated, but yet generic and you know, unique enough as a display backdrop. So I hope you guys enjoy this pic as much as I enjoyed setting it up. So you know, sometimes it's not about cutouts from comics or whatnot. So I actually made this cutout myself. So you can do stuff like that. It's pretty easy to do. Just do something from Microsoft Word. So enjoy this. Been a while since I've done A.C.B.A picks. Actually, I have had ideas, but just haven't gotten down to executing them. So anyways, yeah, I made use of my lunch hour to do some new batch of cutouts. So I've been waiting for the official A.C.B.A cutouts, but I haven't got them yet. So when you don't, well, the saying goes, beggars can't be choosers. So if your official cutout pack hasn't arrived, what do? Make your own. So here I have this cutout that I got from the one of the B.P.R.D storylines. So it's actually Liz Sherman staring at A.C.B.A, but I did my own variation. So I used the M.A.T.O list to hide the comic list in the cutout. So yeah, all about angles. So here I used Liz to kind of depict her in some sort of confinement, and Abe looking on at her. So besides that, I have made some other cutouts. So just a sample of them. So I'll use them over time. So I did all these by hand, not machine made. So I hope they come out well when I use them for display. So quite a number of them are from Hellboy novels, but one of them is actually from an X-Force novel, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy few months ahead. There's going to be the elections coming up. The elections here are held every 5 years. So that's rumored to be next month, I mean. And there's also the A.C.B.A World Championship tournament coming out. Is usually in August, September. That's usually the kickoff time. I'm not likely to be participating, but well, in a way, this display kind of can be an ABC of the World Championship tournament. So the tournament rules, very quickly, you need to have a cutout, of course. So in this case, my cutout, I can strike the cutout from the checklist. Effects. So here I actually have multiple effects. I have the flame. I have the 8 cutout that also can double as an effect. There must be at least 2 characters, so that's a kind of something that can be played around with. Here, technically, I have 3 characters, and props and backdrops and effects and cutouts, and yeah. In a nutshell, I think this basically meets the requirements. Of course, the video submission, in this case, this is more of a photograph rather than a video submission. But you can kind of play around, Of course, this is too simple a display for the World Championship tournament, but you have to figure something out based on the theme. So yeah, just a very simple tutorial to get ready for the World Championship tournament. So stay alert for the news about that and keep grinding. Of the prop lot, what I really wanted was the chess set, the chess board, the antique clock and the gramophone, and of course the table as well. So I've always had the knockoff Matrix armchairs, but I was missing the side table, so now I have a decent side table for displays. So here I have Charles Xavier and Magneto facing off playing chess. So this is reminiscent of the scene from the first X-Men movie. And I don't have a spare Magneto head to go with a suit, so what I used was the Lex Luthor head with the Magneto helmet. So here I'm just kind of depicting Magneto shielding his thoughts from Charles Xavier, so that he doesn't cheat or read his mind, when they are playing chess. So just a very simple display that I set up. But I think there's a lot going on here. I made the cutout myself, the music cutout, so very timely for this display. So I hope you guys enjoy this display. Jeremy made me some dio pieces, so I put something together. So I kind of did a mishmash of a mashup of what he sent me. So sometimes it's about the again the illusion. So what I've done is I've kind of set them up as a backdrop for M.A.T.O. So M.A.T.O is a Green Lantern, kind of a Squirrel-like Green Lantern character. So he has very limited articulation because essentially he's a DC direct figure from the Justice League International line. So the only other figure I have from that line is actually the Booster Gold figure, where he does the thumbs up pose. So no articulation on the legs, very limited articulation on the arms, but he has a pretty interesting articulation for the mouth and the tail. So yeah, interesting articulation nonetheless. So here I've kind of put him in this pose. So if you use Instagram, the square viewer, it will fit nicely. So you won't see the background, which is actually my floor. And no special lights here. I'm just using my bedside lamp for illumination. So yeah, it works pretty well. This is the first time I'm doing A.C.B.A on the floor, but it kind of works. So I may do future displays using this arrangement. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about this display. So I hope you guys like this idea. Here is the lowdown. So I was challenged by Derek Borecki on a challenge. So he tagged me for the cutouts challenge. So thank goodness for me, I recently did a new batch of cutouts. So these are some that I haven't used yet. So I'm kind of trying to draw inspiration from this batch of cutouts to figure out what display I'm gonna do. Most of them are actually Hellboy related, so I'm kind of leaning towards doing a Hellboy display, but you never know. So this is kind of one of the ways of drawing inspiration. I mean, other than reading comics or whatnots, one way is to actually look at cutouts. So in a way, you could kind of call me the cutout whisperer. They kind of speak to me. So I'm gonna kind of look at them and draw inspiration. So I'll do a display in a moment, so stay tuned for that. After some deliberation, I decided to use this cutout. So here I have Hellboy introducing his teammates, B.P.R.D teammates, to some stranger. I leave it up to your imagination. So here I have Ape Sapien, the animated version with the Gambit jacket on him. So surprisingly, it fits snugly on the Ape Sapien figure. And I have the Faith figure from the Angel Buffy series with the hair painted red by Billy Mahoney to represent Liz Sherman, and she's wearing the Wolverine jacket. Doesn't fit as well on her, but still managed to get it to work depending on the angles that you photograph her in. So yeah, just pretty much this very simple display to fulfill the challenge. So I just have some other figures in the background, but yeah, not really taking the majority of the attention from the display, and kind of having some issues now at the moment. I think my air conditioning is leaking again, so I think I'm in trouble. So anyways, that's besides the point. I'm gonna get grinding to get the pictures uploaded to the group, so stay tuned for that.
That's crispy.